Ayy, I told you I was lit. Ayy, I told you I won't quit. Ayy, watch you make this hit. So, alright, so hey, I'm back with another video. How y'all doing? What's good? What's up? Welcome back to another video, like I said. So I'm here with my friend, Billy Bob. As you've seen in the other video before this, my other friend, the yellow guy, yeah. I got two friends. This is my second one. His name Billy Bob. Say hey. But anyway, I'm back here with another video, like I said, for the third time. But I feel like you guys haven't really gotten to know me for real. And this is a natural hair channel, but I will be doing a lot of other things too. I'll be doing a random topic day on my channel where I'll just talk about a random topic. It could be maybe something pertaining to me, like getting to know me, or you know, just something random to talk about. But I am going to talk about social anxiety. Social anxiety is something that I have dealt with over many years, probably since middle school. And I just want to talk to you about it in my experience. A lot of people don't think that social anxiety exists, that it's not a real thing, but it is a real thing, and it's a mental thing. And maybe it is something with confidence, but there really are some people out here that have trouble being around crowds of people, you know, like it's hard, but there's ways to overcome it. And this is my story. So let's get into the video. I have a notebook, so I'm gonna be referring back to my notebook. But my social anxiety probably started around late middle school, like maybe I want to say 7th, 8th grade. I wasn't really as self-conscious in elementary school because, you know, kids, they don't have fears of anything. Kids do whatever. So yeah, middle school was the year I was like really like to myself. I didn't talk to nobody. I was pretty much a loner. I mean, I had little friends that I talked to, but you know, I would get invited to events and I never went to like basketball games. I would go to like spring formals. I would still be very closed in, you know, in my shell. Cause I've always had that fear of, you know, being myself in front of people. A lot of times. Middle school, I was definitely known as quiet girl. I'm still known as that now. May not seem that way from watching this video, but I feel like I've done a good job managing it, so it's okay. Most times, like around lunchtime, I'm by myself. I just really didn't like communicating with people. Really, it was really difficult for me. Like it was a mental thing, but it was also physical. Like being around crowds, I didn't like that at all. Like I wouldn't know how to handle it. So I always felt really nervous and anxious around a lot of people, or like groups of like 4 or 5 people. I never hung out in 4 or 5. I've never really let myself hang out in groups of 4 or 5 people or more because it was bad. Like I mean, I did have friends in middle school. I did have a small group of friends that I consider a really good group of friends. But I was only really social around people that are really close to me. And I mean, that's still true now. A lot of people don't get to really see my full personality And maybe this will help them understand. So my anxiety, I feel like, progressed around high school, like 9th grade. That's when I was like the most in my shell, didn't talk to nobody. Like, I was like, I ain't talking to nobody, period. Okay? Shirt falling, hold on. Okay. But yeah, I didn't talk to anybody. Like, I would be at lunch by myself. You know, I even experienced this girl picking with me because of my hair. You know, like in class, I would never talk to anybody. But yeah, social anxiety is a real thing, and it really affected me for sure. When I was going through school. Let's see. But yeah, in high school, I remember that I was probably the most social on the first day of school. You know, I made some friends. But after that, I didn't really talk to nobody. Like, I didn't feel like I fit in with anybody. But that's the thing about me. I don't like to fit in with people. Like, I'm okay with doing my own thing and walking to the beat of my own drum. Yeah. But yeah, after the first day, I was just like, I'm about to just. But after the first day, I was like, I'm about to just be to myself. And that's what I did. Like, people would invite me to parties and gatherings, and I would be the type to like make up an excuse as to why I couldn't go, because I just didn't like being around people like at all. So. Let's see here. But yeah, in high school, being around like crowds of people, like walking past people, I always felt like I was being stared at. It was just really uncomfortable for me. I would physically feel like nervous or like sweaty, like, ooh. I was very self-conscious, you know, my 9th, 10th grade year. 11th grade, it kind of got better. 12th grade, I was a little more social than my 9th and 10th grade year. The only time that I really came out of my shell was to go to homecoming to dance. That was the only time. Like, dance is probably the only way, not the only way, but the only way, it's the only way I will open up to people is when I was having fun at homecoming. So, I do like to dance, so one day, to get over my fears of being in front of people or talking to people, one thing that helped me was, one day I was at lunch and we were all in the room and nobody knew that I could dance. Nobody knew anything about me because I don't talk to people, or I didn't talk to people like at all. So I was like, I planned this whole thing out. Like, I was like, I'm about to go in here and I'm going to just bust a move. Like, I'm going to just bust a move. And that's what I did. You know, it felt weird. I was like, did I really just do that? Like, did I really just dance out of nowhere in front of all these people? You know, it felt weird, but it was very empowering for me. Like, I felt good about myself after I did it, and I was like, maybe I should try out for like the dance team. That didn't go well. I let my anxiety take over, and I got really nervous, and you know, I got really clammed up and shy. And on the day that we were supposed to rehearse, I turned away And I was like, no, I can't do it. Can't do it. But trying to think. I think after I graduated high school or before I graduated high school, I did take therapy. It helped. Therapy does help with things like this, like social anxiety, because they give you a way to mentally deal with being around other people, being around large crowds. But yeah, therapy is one thing that helped me. Dancing is one thing that helped me. And I still dance. Sorry if I say a lot. That's my favorite word. But yeah, dealing with social anxiety, you just kind of have to do things that help build your confidence, that help kind of ease your mind a little bit. That's what I learned from my therapy sessions. Like, you just gotta go for it. Like, don't think about it. Get out your head, and that's part of it. That's part of social anxiety, is being in your head a lot. So for you though, can't talk. For those of you out there with social anxiety, you're gonna be all right. You gonna get through it, because I'm still getting through it, and I'm making progress. But yeah, that's why, like, when Summer Walker, her saying she ended her career, I could understand why she ended it, but at the same time, yeah, it was kind of, yeah. I'm neutral on that topic. But in a way, I can kind of understand, because with me, and me dancing, and me overcoming social anxiety, or that fear of being around a bunch of people and a bunch of people watching me, I kind of understand how she feels when she's on stage and singing in front of thousands of people. So, I kind of get it. She gotta do what's best for her, But I feel like she probably should have stuck with it, because it probably would have helped her overcome her fear. But back to the point. There's many things you can do to decrease your anxiety. For one, I always tell myself positive affirmations. I always tell myself I can do this. I just give myself positive notes that I'm okay, that these people are human just like I am, like, dance, self-affirmations help me get over social anxiety, or get through it. Still does. Practicing my breathing. When I felt anxious, breathing in and out, deep breaths, counting to 10, just trying to calm your nerves, that helps. And being on YouTube helps me bring out my personality. It gives me a chance to be myself, and people to get to know me for more than just a quiet girl. There's a lot more to me than that. What else? It's one more thing. I was supposed to say this before, but I didn't. There was one little time that I went to a party because I wanted to challenge myself, and I was like, let me go and see what happens. And it was a family member's party that I went to, and when I got there, I just felt like so uncomfortable. Like, everybody was socializing, and I was just on my phone. I'm like, I feel so uncomfortable. Like, I was sweaty, anxious. It was just bad. Like, and I eventually cried, and I wanted to go home. That's how bad my anxiety was. Like, I did not like being around people, as I stated in this video about 50 times. But but that was pretty much it. I think I was gonna miss anything out, but this is my story. I'm still working on myself. I'm still growing in that department of being able to, talk to people and being able to be around big groups and hang around big groups. It's a work in progress, but I know that I've made a tremendous amount of progress, being that I was very, very shy, like very, very quiet, didn't talk to anybody whatsoever, other than the people really close to me. So yeah, But this video was just a chance for you guys to get to know me a little bit. And I wanted to just talk about social anxiety and how important it is to not brush it off as just, it doesn't matter. Like, it's a mental thing and people really go through it. I went through it. I'm still a teeny bit. I deal with it. But I have managed to deal with it. I've managed to grow in that area. And I'm still doing it. So, if you like this video, I cannot talk. I just keep. But if you like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. And I'm going to catch y'all in the next one. This is my Nana Lovelies.